August 22nd, 1864. On this day, 12 nations united to sign the First Geneva Convention, forever changing the landscape of warfare. Imagine a world where soldiers and civilians caught in the crossfire had no protection. That was the grim reality before this groundbreaking event. The First Geneva Convention laid the foundation for international humanitarian law, creating rules for the treatment of the wounded and sick in armed conflicts. The brainchild of Henry Dunant, a Swiss businessman horrified by the carnage he witnessed at the Battle of Solferino, this convention marked the birth of the Red Cross movement. Now let's rewind a bit. The Battle of Solferino in 1859 was a brutal clash that left thousands dead or dying on the battlefield, with no one to care for the wounded. Dunant's vivid account of the horrors led to a global outcry for change. His book, A Memory of Solferino, became the catalyst for the First Geneva Convention. But the journey didn't stop there. The original convention of 1864 was revised in 1906, expanding its provisions and adapting to the changing nature of warfare. Then, in 1929, another revision took place, this time addressing the treatment of prisoners of war. And finally, in 1949, in the aftermath of the Second World War, the Geneva Conventions were comprehensively updated to include the protection of civilians and a wider scope of conflict scenarios. These revisions were not just bureaucratic updates, they were responses to the evolving horrors of warfare. The 1949 revisions, in particular, were monumental, creating 4 distinct conventions that cover a wide array of wartime protections. Think about it. Before these conventions, there were no formal rules about how to treat prisoners, the wounded, or civilians. The Geneva Conventions established a universal code of humanitarian conduct that most nations adhere to, even during the chaos of war. Today, the Geneva Conventions stand as a beacon of humanity amid the brutality of conflict. They remind us of our shared responsibility to protect those who cannot protect themselves. Curious to dive deeper into this fascinating history? Check out the links in the description and the first pinned comment for books that explore these pivotal moments in more detail. If you enjoyed this dive into history, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more epic tales from the past. Thanks for watching, and remember, history is not just about the past. It's about understanding our present and shaping our future.